Welcome back to the Windsor Wednesday show. My apologies if you could not hear that audio. We'll be sure to post the video afterwards. But I want to welcome you to another Windsor Wednesday show. And in just a moment here, I'm going to introduce some of the guests that we have joining us today to share their UWindsor story. So first we have Aleeza Tariq. She is a third-year biological sciences student and also a research assistant at the INCUBATOR Art Lab. So thank you for joining us.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yes, glad to virtually meet you and have you on the show today. Next, we have Selina McCallum. She is an alumnus who graduated with a double degree in communications, digital journalism, and media and film. So we're glad to have Selina on the show today as well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And we also have Sarah Racinsky. She is a communications assistant at the Office of the Student Experience and also a Master's of Sport Management graduate. So she's also an alumnus joining us on the show today. So thank you all for being here today.
Thanks for having us, Landon.
Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. So for those watching who are just curious what the Windsor Wednesday show is, each week we bring on alumnus, students, faculty or staff members on the show to share their UWindsor Proud story and talk a little bit about their experience and hopefully provide valuable advice for students that are just entering their first year of university. So we'll get right into the questions today, and we'll start with Aleeza, and she's going to share what the University of Windsor means to her in 10 words or less. We'll have you go first, Aleeza.
All right. I think for me, the University of Windsor is like a place for self-growth, because through my years of experience at the university, the 4 years, I was able to learn a lot about myself as a person, as a student, and it really allowed me to discover my strengths and weaknesses, and allowed me to work on areas that needed work. So yeah, self-growth.
Excellent. So that's 5 words, a place for self-growth.
Yes.
Awesome. I love it. It's short and sweet, and it means a lot. Thank you.
No problem.
So Sarah, we'll have you share what the University of Windsor means to you in 10 words or less.
So the University of Windsor to me is a place to learn, grow, connect, and give back.
6.
6, yeah.
Perfect. Why do you say that?
Not only is it a great learning environment, there's so many opportunities, to advance yourself, not only academically, but sharpen your skill set for the workforce. And there's lots of networking opportunities, lots of great alumni also that you can connect with at the University of Windsor. It's also a place where you make friends. And then giving back, that was something I guess specific to me because I now get to work at the University of Windsor. And I'm also an alumni, so it's my opportunity to give back to those students that are currently enrolled at the university or that are thinking about pursuing their studies here at the university.
Yes, you made a great point about connections. And I know the University of Windsor just recently, a few months ago, launched the UWindsor 10,000 Coffees program. So if there are students that are interested, you can go on the University of Windsor website, UWindsor 10,000 Coffees. And what you're able to do is each month they pair you up with a professional in an industry that you're interested in, and you have the opportunity to meet them virtually now. Unfortunately, you can't go for an actual coffee, but you do have that opportunity to connect with some of the University of Windsor alumni. So thank you for bringing that up. And Selina, what would you say the University of Windsor means to you in 10 words or less?
That's going to be pretty hard to do 10 words or less. But I'd say that the University of Windsor, to me, is a place to seek opportunities and to experience new things.
I think that was 10, exactly.
Was it?
I think so. Okay. My counting may be wrong, but
yeah.
Are you able to explain a bit more in detail of why those 10 words stood out to you?
So definitely with seeking opportunities, I feel that the University of Windsor is a great campus size that allows you to really get to know your peers and your professors. And so because of that, you're able to have new experiences, join clubs, kind of just make a name for yourself at the University of Windsor while being able to focus on your studies as well.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks.
Jumping into the second question of today, this talks about how the University of Windsor has prepared you or is currently preparing you, if you are a student, for the workforce? So we'll start with Sarah at the bottom for this question.
Oh, jumping right to me. So not only did I complete my master's degree at the University of Windsor, I also did my undergraduate degree here as well in the Faculty of Kinesiology, and I also did a minor in business. And during both my undergraduate and master's experience here at the university, I was able to gain really valuable knowledge through experiential learning opportunities, not only inside but outside of the classroom. For example, I took a course in the human kinetics program that was structured around human resources and the hiring process. So we literally started with creating a job description and what that means, and we had to go out and interview people, and then it took you through the entire process to then being interviewed, where you sat in an interview room and were recorded as you did a mock interview, and you were able to get that direct feedback that you don't always get in an interview. During my master's degree, I was fortunate enough to work with Special Olympics Ontario during my placement, and I not only assisted in their provincial games, but I also completed my research project researching the motivation of the volunteers at that event. So it was really cool to kind of take, the practical side of things, as well as my education, and kind of merge them together. And then in addition to that, I've also, taken classes where we assisted with the Windsor International Film Festival. I've had connections through the university where I was able to work for the Windsor Spitfires, volunteer with the Memorial Cup that came to Windsor, and as well as the FINA World Swimming Championships that came to Windsor. I also was fortunate enough to have some staff and faculty members that have come alongside me as mentors, really encouraging me to sharpen my skill sets, gain new experiences, and to kind of push me out of my comfort zone. And some of these opportunities were paid, like when I worked with the athletics department or when I was a research assistant on campus. So it's great to see that the university was not only able to provide me with work experience, but also paid opportunities to help further my growth. So I would say the University of Windsor not only prepared me for the workforce, it set me up for success.
Awesome. That's a great story. And it's great to see that the University of Windsor has so many different job opportunities for students, whether it be co-op, different internships if you're in a master's program. So I'm glad that it was able to elevate your learning through experiential learning. It's great. So Aleeza, we'll start with you. How is the University of Windsor currently preparing you for the workforce when you do graduate?
I think for me, one of the biggest things is definitely like time management. I think I was able to learn a lot about being able to manage my time. Compared to first year, I was leaving things till last minute. But over the years, like I've learned, being able to manage your time is definitely really hard, but it is a skill that's very necessary. And like Sarah mentioned, there's a lot of job opportunities also that the University of Windsor provides. I work at the incubator lab, and being able to work in the incubator lab team, because the team is a very diverse group. Like we have people from a lot of different majors. We have science students, we have art majors, and we have other majors as well. So while I was working in the incubator lab, I really learned how to think outside of the box and really look at things in a different perspective, because I learned that there's a lot of different ways to approach the same problems. And I think that's definitely something that can be really helpful to me in the future.
Yes, definitely. And it's great to see that the incubator lab has, again, you said a variety of students from different programs. Like you're in biological sciences, but you're at the School of Creative Arts.
Exactly.
Right? So there's that interconnection of different programs and different extracurricular opportunities that the University of Windsor offers that you're able to benefit from and really help prepare you for the workforce. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
So Selina, how has the University of Windsor prepared you for the workforce? I know you're doing some great things off campus now that you've graduated. Please feel free to explain.
So I'm from Toronto, so I moved back home when I graduated last year in the fall. I was fortunate enough to meet someone from the Toronto Caribbean newspaper, where I started working for her. And I feel that my 4 years in the journalism program, and communications program really taught me timeliness, work ethic, as well as how important making connections are. I know that in communications program, our professors would really stress that your peers are people who you'll be working with in the future, which is true because even on some film sets here in Toronto, one of my friends is a director and he's also an alum from U Windsor. So it's great to kind of see all that I learned happening now. And I'm using the skills that I learned in journalism while working for the Toronto Caribbean newspaper and just being a photographer and videographer myself. I think I really learned about the importance of telling a good story. I think as well as ensuring, you know, especially with all that's going on in the world right now, how important it is to tell a good story and to get your facts right as well. So I think that's how the University of Windsor and my programs prepared me for what I'm doing now.
Yes, it's definitely great to see that you're in Toronto and you're meeting alumni from the University of Windsor.
Yeah.
And for students that are watching who want to know, let's say, a little bit more about the program that you completed, communications, media, film, digital journalism, what were some things that you've learned through that program that you could share?
So I think for digital journalism, the first thing I learned was how important it is to have photos, videos, and be very present on social media. So my understanding, or for before the understanding, was that journalism is a lot of articles. It's writing. You'll be writing a lot. But through the program, I learned that pictures and videos are very important to have. So I had to become a very good videographer and photographer very quickly to learn how to tell a good story through those mediums, as well as having your presence on social media. So how to tell a story, for example, with only, I think it's 142 characters on Twitter, but being able to tell a story, a short story on Twitter or a short story on Instagram, those things are very important, especially now that we're living more so in a digital age. And with the communication, media, and film program, I'd say that understanding what you want to focus in for sure. So in film, there's a lot that you can go into, whether it's directing or writing, just understanding your focus and being able to find a mentor or being able to develop your skill set within that position. And within my program is so much sometimes, but and within communications too, for example, understanding PR or emailing or marketing, there's a lot that goes into those two programs. But I think that a good umbrella would be just knowing how to be a creative and being able to tell a good story, whether that's fictional or nonfiction.
Yes, it's great to see that the skills that you learned in your program, you're able to now use at the newspaper you're working for and other different types of journalism projects that you're involved with. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
And the final question and the best question of the day, we ask this every live stream, is why are you UN proud? We'll start with you, Aleeza.
All right, so I think I'm UN proud because one of the main things that stood out to me the most throughout my experience was that I realized that people around me, like the faculty members and the professors, really care about you and really want you to succeed. Like I was constantly getting advice from people around me who are more experienced than me. They've been through this. They've been students before, so they know like what to do, and they really want you to succeed. They support you constantly. I think that's one of the main things that makes me really proud to have gone to a university that values their students.
Yes, thank you. Could you think of a time where you felt really supported by whether it be a faculty member or a student that you could share?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. Last year, it was third year was like really, really hard, and I remember like I reached out to Dr. Jennifer, and it's hard to like being able to like manage your time and work and academics and everything like that. So I remember she shared a lot of her experiences while she was a student, and it really helped me. And she also gave me a lot of advice on how to manage my time and provided me with a lot of opportunities that I could use to succeed in the future as well. And constantly just making sure that I'm okay and I'm doing my best, and I think that's
it's great to see that a faculty member or even staff or or some type of professor can still be your mentor. So thank you.
Yeah.
Sarah, we'll start with you. You and proud. Why are you and proud?
I'm you and proud because the University of Windsor just has really shaped me into the person I am today. Again, the university does such a great job of providing their students with so many opportunities to grow, succeed, and it really is, a community. We're fortunate enough to have a little bit of a smaller campus, and again, even with the downtown campus, like we're still trying to stay as connected as possible. And then in addition to that, I've also been able to make so many great connections, friendships. I even met my husband here on campus. And not originally growing up in the Windsor-Essex area, I honestly never thought that I would grow roots in Windsor-Essex, but attending the University of Windsor and not only seeing, the community within the University of Windsor, but how that kind of expands to the greater Windsor-Essex area is, I think, a big reason why I'm still here and really working for an institution that I do believe in.
So when you first came to Windsor, what was your first impression of the city and the university?
My first impression was, oh no, I think I'm driving into the States and I missed my exit to the University of Windsor. I was really thrown right into it because I lived right on campus and I was able to get a really good experience of what it's like to be, a first year university student living away from home. You can you become your own person, and that's again where I was able to forge a lot of those great relationships and connections. And it was honestly a really welcoming and open environment, like Welcome Week or, pasta in the quad. And there's always so many activities that are, again, building that community on campus.
Yes. Thank you. And Selina, why are you proud to be a University of Windsor student?
I'm proud to be a U Windsor student because I think also, like Sarah mentioned, the person I am today, it did really shape me to be a very a critical thinker, a creative, and also just a very well-rounded person because I was able to join so many clubs or conferences or apply to so many jobs on campus, and that kind of enforced me to know what I want to do and to come back here and have a mindset of being able to jump into the workforce and know how to kind of how to work and be myself in a way. So I'm U Windsor proud mainly because it gave me the opportunity to really find myself and to really just, I guess, sorry, I don't know, I'm getting tongue-tied, but I guess it just really gave me the opportunities that I needed to become who I am today, too.
Yes. No, that's such a compelling story, is that you came to the University of Windsor from Toronto and you found yourself, right? You met people, you were going through a program where it was something you were interested in. You're really connected with the faculty members and the students, and that really helped elevated your finding yourself and also your place in the workforce today. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
So to wrap up the show, each week we do we turn Windsor Wednesdays into Giving Wednesdays, and we've been doing online giveaway competitions on Instagram and Facebook. So in just a moment here, we're going to share the winner of this week's giveaway. We'll have a virtual drum roll. Selina, I don't see it. There we go. Awesome. All right. And this week's winner, we have Skyla Baker. She just won a $50 Amazon gift card. So thank you so much. Please send us a message to claim your prize. And thank you all for joining me today on the show, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, having us.